Hello everyone, welcome to this video series on Democratizing Artificial Intelligence in 3 Steps. I am Dr. Shinu Abhi, Director of Corporate Training at REVA University, REVA Academy for Corporate Excellence. Today, I am in dialogue with Dr. Simha, who is a Chief Mentor in AI and CTO of ABIBA Systems. Dr. Simha, we have been speaking about where do I begin the journey. Now, I have practiced some of these tools that you have mentioned previously. I have also trying to understand more of business problems and building my strategy in my mind. But there are still too many jargons, too many technologies, too many concepts that I am intimidated with. If I have to ask you this question in my simplifying AI journey, what are the 3 algorithms or techniques that I must master to start my journey as an AI engineer or a data scientist? What is the first most useful technique?
Okay, so instead of technique, I would like to take that as the class of algorithms. Instead of algorithms, I would like to say class of algorithms, but I would like to go from business sense. The first thing that I would like to do is segment them. Segmentation is the first analysis that we should do. First analytical model we should build. So it can be inventory analytics, it can be customer analytics, it can be stock analytics, it can be any analytics, it can be machine analytics, how we frequently machine fail and things like that. Any of that, I would like to segment them first because all of them are not similar. So only similar elements we would like to group. Similar customers we would like to group. Similar stocks we would like to group. Similar machines we would like to group. If such is the case, the first thing we would like to do is what we call as the base analysis or segmentation. That is the first thing that everybody should master. So if we can go back to our video about what's the first step, we said collect the data. So you have collected the data about 3 or 4 things. What is the cost in advertisement for newspaper, for TV, for pamphlet, or the direct sales, direct campaigning kind of thing. You take the data and try to identify during which month the segmentation, do that segmentation and try to understand which of the records are similar. That's the first thing you have to understand. Segmentation is the first technique or class of techniques you have to understand.
So you mean that further if you go down, in segmentation, I have to do certain techniques like clustering, or are there favorite three techniques in segmentation?
Oh, excellent. We are getting into a fractal mode. 3 within 3 within 3. Yes, so if you look at the 3 techniques, if you ask me personally, I would like to look at the K-means algorithm as the first technique. And the second technique is SOM. And the third technique is t-SNE. These are the 3 techniques I would like the people to master without writing any code. Can you get this out? Can you build that? And if all of them are talking the same thing, you got the gold mine. If there is a difference, now you start asking the question why there is a difference. And that gives kind of insight others may not get. So that is the data-driven insight that we are looking at.
Quite doable. So you mean that suppose we have say 1 million customer records and certain unique parameters, we could optimize our resources by segmenting, and it has great business value. So that sounds interesting for us to actually learn these 3 methods that you have mentioned. What is the second technique, which is the most useful and used?
Yeah. So the moment we get, let us say I have grouped my customer base into 5 segments. Now given 3 variables, can you classify them into one of the segments? That is what we call as classification. So classification is the second technique people should understand. There is binary classification which says that should I give a loan to him or not? Will he default or not? Will he purchase or not? So that becomes a binary problem. Then there is a N-class problem which says that he belongs to one of the high-value customers, medium-value customers, low-value customers. So if I want to classify, classification techniques are to be understood. To extend your question, like we answered earlier, the 3 techniques that I generally propose, the first is what is called as a linear classification model based on logistic regression. That's the first technique people should master. The second technique is nonlinear regression or nonlinear classification, which is based on an ensemble kind of technique. It can be random forest, it can be gradient boosting machines, it can be extreme gradient machines. So any of them, right? This is the second technique that I want you to master. The third technique, which is called as the localized or independent algorithms, two algorithms come there. The first is Bayesian algorithm, the second is the KNN algorithm. If they master these four techniques, it is more than sufficient. They can solve any type of problem.
I think that sounds another interesting business problems that most of the leaders are grappling with, or most of the data scientists are grappling with. Can we give one choice? Can we classify and with some? We are not getting into the model tuning and all that in this series, but at least we could give a very specific answer that can this person be given loan or not, and definitely there is a reason that we do that with certain parameters. And okay, so the third question that definitely is that, so I mean, you told segmentation, classification, but
And the third technique is forecasting. So in classification, we are putting them into 2 groups, 3 groups, 5 groups. But actually, I don't know what is the stock price after 1 week. I'm telling it is going up. I classified that it goes up, the trend is upwards, but I am not told what will be the price. So if you look at that, the forecasting, actually predicting a number, will be the third technique everybody should master. So what will be my budget, home budget in next 12 months? They have to predict. Easily they can say 30 into 12, 3.6 lakhs is easiest one. But if there is variation, how can I predict? So number has to be predicted, and that is a regression problem technically, but we do not want to call it as a regression. We want to call it as a forecasting problem. It can be time series, it can be flat regression, it can be anything, but it's a forecasting problem. So within forecasting, I'm looking at 3 different models. The first model is linear regression. Just go with linear regression, plain linear regression, and that is the baseline. The second type of model is ensemble models, random forest, gradient boosting machine, XGBoost, and this type of models is the second set of models. The third step of models are localized models using KNN. So if they master these 3 types of models, they can solve almost 80% of most of the problems. Added to this, there are some time series problems like simple moving average, which most of the stock traders know well, right? Already they have to move back. So,
yeah, but some of these algorithms, what you have mentioned in classification as well as in regression or prediction and forecasting, seems to be quite similar. So
yeah, they are common. They are common. Only the outcome is different. In case of classification, the outcome is a class. There is no number. But in case of a regression, it will be a number. So that's the only difference. Otherwise, if there is no classification, using the same technology, same techniques, they can do regression or the forecasting.
Absolutely. So you heard Dr. Simha right and loud and clear that there are only 3 things that you must master: segment, classify, predict, or forecast. The techniques definitely start, you have to look at each of these 3 techniques inside this and then master step by step. That's our intention, to make your journey to AI simplify in 3 steps. So master these three things, and I'm sure that you would find better applications of these in your real life. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you like this video. If you like, do comment, and we are putting certain resources in the description, and do subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
so
much.